Hey guys, in this episode, we talk about how to really use the negative things that are happening to you as fuel to really get stubborn about what you want. We talk with Ivana Suter, who's a small business owner, and she has had so much just trauma happen, and yet in the face of that adversity, she has used that to fuel her mission for positivity and ultimately to make a large impact. She now has taken from a positive t-shirt business, has used that platform to go into the schools to advocate anti-bullying and also suicide prevention. There is a big need, I feel, for people to stand up and do the things that they are meant to do without listening to the toxic energy vampires that are out there. I really love how she is able to embrace her individuality and stand up to bullies out in the marketplace. I think this is going to be such a gold episode for you, and I hope you listen and can hear maybe it speak to you in the way that you have something that needs to impact the world, and maybe you're listening to some negativity that's around you. Maybe you are not filtering who you're listening to and getting that advice from. If it is really hindering the bigger message, the bigger impact that you were made to do, then it's time to just shut it down. And so it's really a lesson in learning that your message can be made from the mess and that no one can clip your wings. All right, let's go. Welcome back to My Mother's Daughter podcast, where we choose to focus on the controllables, jump off the hamster wheel of grief, and take steps to honoring our loved ones by living a life filled with gratitude, joy, and abundance. It's time to get stubborn about what we want and choose to lean into who we were meant to be, while drinking too much caffeine, owning way more workout pants than we'd like to admit, and dreading that nightly dinner talk almost as much as waking up early. You feel me, sister? I'm Angel McElhaney, motherless daughter, positive psychology junkie, and not so master juggler of my crazy crew, and I believe that you can heal and find happiness after loss. So grab that coffee, put down that to-do list, and let's get to work. One day at a time, together. Let's get started with today's show. In this episode of My Mother's Daughter, we are going to talk with Ivana Suter. She is a mom of four and a lover of individuality and Converse, and she's a mompreneur of BEEthePositive, where she speaks encouragement to the reader of her shirts and the wearer of her merchandise to spread a positive message not only to the wearer themselves, but to everyone around them. Through her life experiences, she was able to take her traumatic experience and be able to rise above them and use this platform to remove her broken feelings through forgiveness and really stepping into something more positive. A lot of this I know has come from choice, and I think that it's really brave of you to step out and be super transparent and helping us feel how to pass the mess that can happen into all these negative experiences and rise above. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This is exciting.
I'm so happy to have you here. I love your shirts, by the way.
Thank you.
I am a bit of a creative person myself, so I feel like I've done a little bit of everything, but I love your shirts, and I love the fact that you say that it's not just for the person. It's not saying like I'm awesome, but it's also about the other people around you. I love that. So I just wanted to start by you just telling us a little bit about yourself, where all your story basically starts.
So I grew up in a very loud home. The marriage of my parents was broken way before they actually split. God was in the home, but it was kind of just religion. And my mom did not have the kind of parents that you should be able to have. And so she did not really know how to love or treat us right. So there was a lot of neglect. And later on in life, there was abuse from non-family members, and there was physical abuse. And later on down the road, there was more physical abuse and more neglect, and just kind of not the best childhood that a kid could have. But I guess I had a lot of people to forgive. And when I went through and forgave all those people through strictly, that was totally God helping me forgive. I figured out that I was a lot more broken than I realized. and that I needed him. And I started healing, and just asking him to help me out and all that. And through that process, a little dream of mine that I had since I was about 10 years old came back into my head, and it was to own a t-shirt company.
Sorry that you suffered so much pain and heartache. Could you tell us a little bit how you were able to persevere through that?
Yes, I can definitely tell you that. One, I forgave. It was very, very hard. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is to actually hand it over to God and say, I forgive this person, instead of just, God, help me to forgive. It was, I forgive you, and saying their name. And it was literally, it took me forever to do it. But I can speak from personal experience. When you do that, there is a freedom that comes in that, and there is just something so beautiful when you let go of that, because I believe that when you forgive, you're not releasing that person from their deeds, but you're releasing yourself from that pain. And when you release yourself from that pain, then you can start healing. And that's when I decided I wanted to do something different than just live with that pain. I didn't want to be a person that was known for the pain, and I didn't want to pass the pain on to people. And so I just started complimenting people, just being kind, just being so outwardly kind that people didn't know what to think when I'd compliment their hair or their shoes or their jacket or whatever. And
That's interesting that you say that, because we've actually talked about how whatever you want to come to you, you put out. That kind of abundance mindset. There's actually a whole episode on it. So I think that's pretty amazing. And the fact that it sounds like you were able to use your story to forgive, but also, like you mentioned, like, let it be for you, and how freeing that must have been. And then when it comes to your business, how did you do, or were you able to get the confidence built up to do that?
It actually happened really kind of funny. I was in a group of people, and I was told by someone that I was too positive, too energetic, and too happy. And I could not believe that a person would say that to someone, especially someone who has been through so much stuff that I've been through, who has basically, that's like saying that you're too happy to a cancer patient. I just felt like that was the worst thing you could say to someone, is tell them that they are too happy and too positive. And that's when I came up with my first quote that I just spoke to myself and spoke to, I don't think I spoke it to the person, but I spoke it to myself for the rest of the day. And it was, I'm not going to clip my wings to fit in their box. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to be myself, and I'm not going to change for anybody. And I started living authentically me. And I took that and paired it with a dream I've had since I was 10 years old of owning a t-shirt company. But when you're 10 years old, you kind of want to be a Power Ranger and Supergirl and all these other things. So
Ninja Turtle.
Yes, Ninja Turtles. I'm obsessed with Ninja Turtles.
Well, I love that. So let's repeat that one more time. So what was the quote again?
It was, don't clip your wings to fit in their box.
I love that. And so that's where kind of that individuality part comes in. And you mentioned the Converse. You said that you get 2 pairs of Converse so that you can have different colors. My sister and I, we pride ourselves on our no match socks, which, let me just tell you, in a family this big, I grew up in a family where I'm the oldest of 4, and then I have 4 kids. Like, matching socks are overrated. I say just like,
oh yeah,
just own that.
Yeah, so, just wear them.
You know,
oh, yeah, I love doing that with Converse shoes. I actually have people that if I wear matching Converse shoes, they look at me and they're like, that's not you. What are you doing with that? Where's your mismatching Converse shoes? Like, they love it.
Well, and let's pause for a second and just acknowledge, like, what a toxic person that must have come from, and that you don't want to take your advice from someone that doesn't reflect what you have. So, or that what you want. So, like, for instance, you're not going to take marriage advice from someone who can't, keep a positive relationship. So it's like that person clearly isn't what you want to reflect. So definitely use that information to know that you don't want to, because some people might have taken that and it might have even broke them even more. Do you know what I mean? Instead of, in the intro of the show, we actually say get stubborn about what you want. And I feel like that's part of that, which is a little bit sometimes that's a negative connotation, but I think it's a good one. Like you are, like stubborn about what you want, and that you are going to be a little relentless in the fact that like, no, like I am in control of this choice that I've made to make the best of this, to make the best.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that is really awesome. I
thank
think
you.
that also when bad things tend to happen in our lives, we generally want to keep them under wraps. And so I think that it's huge, and it takes a really big, courageous person to tell their story. So I just want to commend you for that. And I do think that it will help a lot of people, and it will give them hope to be able to take some steps to really honestly just make change. And it doesn't mean that you're never like have a down moment, because I think some people get that messed up, like, oh, that it's black or white, like I'm either happy or sad. Like you actually can feel all of it. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have a day where you're crushing it, and you're like, anything that's coming at you, you're like untouchable. And then there might be another day where, something would say something like that to you, and that you wouldn't be able to maybe stand up as much to that. What do you think are some ways or some factors for you to combat that? Like, is it a community? Did you have people around you kind of speaking life into you? What is something, if you had to think about back to that time, that you had that helped to, was that your faith, or what was it that you had that was really intentionally combating like the outside world and their judgment?
Definitely my faith, because when you believe who you are in Christ, then no one can tell you different. So that was something that I was like, okay. And I had been called a butterfly before. I'd had people tell me like, you're a butterfly, you've been through all this darkness and through all this pain, and then you come out a beautiful butterfly. And so when I was talking to this person, and I forgive this person, and if they ever hear this podcast, I do forgive them, but they helped do something in my life that changed it, and I'm actually very thankful for it. But yes, I had community. I first called my husband, and he was livid that somebody would say that to me, especially with as fragile as I had been before, because I've been very, very fragile. I've been on the edge because of some other things in life. And so just having that community, calling some friends, and just getting madder. I just got madder and madder. I don't even know if that's a word, but I just got angrier and angrier, and just, how dare this person think they know me and think that they can tell me not to be happy. And so I almost did it not out of spite, but almost like, they are not gonna, and I just kept saying it. I kept texting butterflies to my friends, like, they are not gonna clip my wings to fit me in their box. I got stubborn, like you said. It was perfectly said. I got stubborn, and I just decided, all right, I'm not gonna change who I am just because my being happy makes them uncomfortable. I've been told that in school before. I was bullied in school, and when I found out why that person was bullying me, it was because I was too happy. And I just flat out told that person, I'm sorry if I did anything to offend you, but you have no idea the things I've been through. And so for me to be happy and you not like it, you just kind of got to get through it. And we parted ways as acquaintances. But definitely community, definitely my faith, and then just a stubbornness to not give in, to not listen to what the world says, knowing that there's something bigger and better out there. And just, I enjoy being happy. I enjoy the feeling of making other people smile, and I wasn't going to change who I was. That's just period. I still will not change who I am. If I want to wear a t-shirt and jeans and mismatched Converse shoes, I've had people tell me I look like an idiot. I just kind of look at them and go, well, I've got the confidence to rock it. And that way, if people do call me names, I just look at them and tell them that I like who I am.
Well, and I think you're taking your power. So you've taken your power away from the people that don't deserve it, and you've put it in a place through your faith. And then honestly, like the people that know you, that know your heart, and that know like the kind of person you are. And I think that that's awesome. And it really is a reflection of the work you're going to be doing with this new company. So tell us a little bit about your company, and how can people find you?
So I created a positive apparel company. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if those exist, but that's what I'm calling it. And we speak to the reader, not just the wearer of the clothes. So like you said, there's shirts out there that say, I'm awesome, I'm a rock star, but ours say, you're awesome, you're a rock star. They speak to the people reading it so that you can have an influence, a positive influence on people around you. So you picture someone in a grocery store line, they're wearing a shirt that says you make a difference, and the person behind them was getting ready to end their life today, and they look up and see something that says you make a difference, or you're incredible, or you've got this, and it can really touch someone's life. That's my ultimate dream. The day I hear that happened, I will bawl my eyes out. I can be found on Facebook, Instagram. I'm working on Pinterest. And we also have a website, and it's all under so BEE, positive.com is our website. And then we're Facebook and Instagram is just BEEthePositive. And we post, I say we, but it's me. I post things, encouraging words to share with friends, mindfulness tips, just little things that kind of help you throughout your day, to have a little bit more positivity in your day, when right now especially there's so much negativity and fear and anxiety. And so I just try to bring some joy and some positivity and some happiness into the lives.
I think that is awesome. And I think that one big message that kind of shines through for me is the fact that sometimes when things happen to us, we kind of want to take that identity of them on. And the fact is they're not ours. So I think that it's awesome that you were able to release that. And instead of having that shame and like cause to hide and kind of like barrel it through, like kind of put layers around you, you were able to release it and honestly help encourage other people to kind of choose to step out and tell their story and let it strengthen others and give them hope. I also think that there's a definite passion that kind of seeps through when you talk, and I think that's really apparent. And I think that when you're passionate about a cause, there's no way that it can't go on and on and on, especially when it's going to be helping so many people. Now, I do know that you have a sale right now at the airing of this. You guys might need to check the show notes, but it is a sale for 10% off, and it is a new COVID. Can you tell us about the new COVID shirt you have?
Yeah, I actually have a whole line of them right now that are pointing to the situation that we're going through right now. And the COVID shirt says, choose joy and victory in adversity. And it uses the letters from COVID. So I felt like we needed some more positivity with the situation that's going on. And then we also have other ones that are for essential workers. And it's one says thank you on the front, and the other one says you're welcome on the back. And it's basically you can thank someone for what they're doing, or you can say you're welcome if you are the person doing it.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think that's just another layer of just putting out that positive and that abundance that is really needed out in the world. Okay, Ivana, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come and share your story. I think it's such a powerful story, and I love that you have been able to overcome all of this adversity and really just make a positive message through the mess of all the things you went through. I love that you have made an impact in schools and using your platform to really voice anti-bullying and suicide prevention. And I think that it's such a powerful, powerful message, and there is such a positive aura around you that it just will, I know it will attract some great things. Super excited for you. And for all my listeners, you can find Ivana at BEEthePositive.com. And yeah, she has a Shopify store where you can check out her shirts, and I just know that you are going to see a lot of amazing things from her. Hey mama, before you go, if you found value in today's podcast or you learned something new, stop over to iTunes and leave me a review. I love hearing what you are thinking of the show, and also connecting with you over on social media. You can find me on Instagram at angel.mcelhaney or on Facebook. So check the show notes for that crazy last name. And until next time, I just want to remind you, you are capable, you are strong, and you can do the hard things. Wishing you joy and abundance, Angel.